There are 14 hidden achievements in BTD6, and this is how to get them all. We're going to start with an easy one, Big Bloons. All you have to do is win 10 games with Pat Fusty as your hero. This can be done in a handful of ways, but I like to combine it with the next hidden achievement, Chunky Monkeys, where you need to win 10 games only using monkeys that have large footprints, which limits us to Pat Fusty, Captain Churchill, the Buccaneer, Ace, Helipilot, Mortar, Super Monkey, Mer Monkey, Banana Farm, Village, and Spike Factory. Unfortunately, this has to be done on medium difficulty or higher, so the fastest way to do this is by beating 10 games of medium standard only using these monkeys. And if you do it with Pat Fusty, you'll get both hidden achievements, unlocking the Big Bloons and Big Monkey Towers options in the Extras tab. Next, we have a much more difficult one in Alchermistman and Bloonacleboy, where we need to get 900,000 damage or more on a Bloon Master Alchemist in a single game before round 100. Luckily, this can be done in free play, so boot up a game of easy standard and farm away. We'll get a 105 Alchemist in the mid game and start getting pops on him. Getting one of these in the 60s is easily early enough, and try to put your defenses behind it so they don't steal any pops. My personal favorite is a perma-spike at the back of the track, but if you're on resort, you can just put normal defenses down bottom. After this, we'll buff the Alchemist with an Ultra Boost and Homeland Defense for tons of extra attack speed, and you should easily get the achievement. My Elk went into round 100 with over 1.8 million damage, double that of which we needed. And you don't have to beat round 100 for this, so feel free to exit to home and make sure you got it. This will unlock the small Bloon option, which is nice for boss events. Shifting gears, we have Josh's Constant, where we need to beat an expert map on chimps with $40,870 or more spent on one Spike Factory, so either on a carpet of spikes or super mines, as the perma spike is too cheap. I recommend getting a carpet on either Dark Castle or Infernal, as they're the easiest two expert maps, and the 250's Factory is a great tower. Now, I'm not going to do an in-depth guide for how to get this win, as a single update can make it not work, so just search a guide on YouTube and there should be an updated one. Like when I'm writing this, Totem Mika made a guide just 12 days ago, and completing this challenge will award a 003 Spike Factory Insta-Monkey. Next, we have Strangely Adorable, one of the easier ones, but probably the coolest. Just farm a few million gold and build a vengeful true sun god with a level 20 Adora in range. This will transform Adora into her vengeful state, which has a ton of extra damage and pierce. And I recommend doing this on Adora's temple because the entire map will change with her, even if it is a bit more difficult of a map to farm on, and completing the achievement gives us a sun avatar insta-monkey. If you don't know how to make a VTSG, I will link a guide in the description. Moving on, we have a super easy one, Golden Ticket. We just need to start a game on Candy Falls and click 8 spots in the right order. Doing so, we'll play the secret Oompa Loompa tune. The sequence can be restarted at any time, and it can be performed in any game mode. Plus, you don't have to beat the map to earn the achievement, and this will unlock the Small Monkey Towers option. Onto Mo Heroes Mo Problems, where you just need to complete an Odyssey without a hero. So boot up the easy version and remove the hero from its slot, and completing this will award you 3 insta-monkeys. Next, we have Stubborn Strategy, the only grindy hidden achievement. We need to win 100 games on maps with removable obstacles without removing them. You can get this as you play by purposely not removing obstacles, or you can grind a bunch of deflation games on a map like Skates, and completing it will give you 500 monkey money and 3 cash drops. After that, we have the 2TC, most people's favorite hidden achievement. All you have to do is beat a game of chimps with only 2 monkeys. It sounds tough, but there are some super easy combos like a permaspike and Inferno Ring on Resort, and this gives great rewards, 2 monkey knowledge points and a 040 wizard insta-monkey. Moving on, we have Bill Greats, where we need to send $500,000 to an ally in co-op in one click, meaning you have to have $2.5 million saved up, as the donate button sends 20% of your money. So get ready to farm a ton, and everyone in the game can get this achievement by sending the money around. I recommend boat farming on Lotus Island to get the money quickly, but most maps can work, and completing this will give you 5 cash drops. Perfect Paragon is next, and it's not too bad. You just need to make a degree 100 Paragon. You can either do this in 4-player co-op, as the extra tier 5s will go a long way, or you can do it in solo by running Geraldo and placing a ton of his Paragon totems, as each one adds to the degree of the next Paragon created. You'll still need millions of pops and a ton of monkeys sacrificed, but the solo version is nice because you can exit to home and load back in if you accidentally make it too early. And the easiest Paragon to max out, in my opinion, is the Buccaneer Paragon, as you can farm a ton with the bottom path boats, and all of that cash generated goes towards the degree. Onto the not lacking critical information Transformation hidden achievement. This is another one you can complete just by playing, as it's get 25,000 critical hits. There are several monkeys that can crit in the game, but if you want to get this in just a few minutes, play a game of easy and place as many 230 robo monkeys as you can. They crit every 15 to 20 shots and attack very fast, but this will award a 004 dart and a 030 super insta monkey. Similar to this, we have They Call Me Cave Monkey. Here, we need to hit the cave monkey hole in Frozen Over 50,000 times with mortar monkeys. So once again, go into free play on easy and place as many 040 mortar monkeys as you can, targeting them all to the cave monkey hole. In just a few minutes, you'll complete the achievement and get 3 cave monkeys as your reward. And finally, we have Nah I'd Win. Probably the hardest hidden achievement in the game, as we need to beat the Tar Pits version of Spa Pits on hard with no continues, powers, or monkey knowledge. You are allowed to lose lives, you can have double cash and or fast track active, but you can't back out and re-enter to redo a round. Very challenging to do on your own, but if you watch an up-to-date guide, you should be able to get it right away. And doing so will give you 1200 monkey money. But that was how to complete every hidden achievement in BTD6.